I'm recording.
Okay.
This is the
But
middle
I
of the
want
thing.
you to, but you got to get a clean start.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Jesus.
In 3, 2, and now I'm making the silent thing with the 1. So you do 3, 2, and then you do the silent 1 with your hand.
I'll do it to myself.
And then
In 3,
point.
2.
You're on.
Don't say you're on.
I know. That's the point, though. The point.
Okay, ready? In 3, 2. Now go.
So, Jesus Christ. So I can cut that out.
You can
But
cut that
now
out.
we're laughing, and now you're going to hear me saying we're going to cut that out.
All right, go.
Okay, how about I do it? I'll do the 3, 2, 1, and then I'll point to myself because I'm the one who's going to talk first.
Okay.
You don't have to point, though, just so you know.
I fully am going to point to myself.
Be quiet.
3, 2, 1.
I'll move over, Swanson. I'm driving. Hey, Slam! My dinghy's bigger than your whole boat!
Welcome back to the Caddyshack Minute, the podcast in which we watch and observe and discuss and talk about the film Caddyshack 1 minute at a time. I am Tom Taylor, and as always, I am joined by Mike DiMaria,
Yes.
and I'm also joined by Dan Lewis.
Yep.
And how you guys doing? Everybody's good? We're happy?
Yes.
Good. I got my whole podcast set up here.
Sweet.
Candelabra.
Uh-huh.
Nice bottle of white. Bottle of white wine.
Some draperies on the walls.
The kind of thing that can appeal to a Caddyshack fan. The kind that roots for the old money part of the film.
That's right.
And Dan has to set the mood in his place. I'm laying on the floor because I slept wrong last night and my neck hurts. I'm laying on the floor with the laptop on my chest.
I think that's a good approach, unless your sleeping wrong was also laying on the floor last night. Because that
No.
sounds wrong to me.
Well, it was
Yeah.
actually, it wasn't last night. It was the night before we had my daughter's Indian princess outing, which is now the camping outing, and I slept on
Oh,
my
my
bed
God.
without a pillow.
Now, is
jeez.
that an East Indian princess outing or a?
No, we had a little small victory because now it goes by the name Wilderness Princesses.
Oh, look at that.
They're going politically correct, which a lot of the others didn't enjoy. But I was that guy and said, maybe we should just let this one go. I think they got a point here.
Right. Yeah.
When it's a bunch of white guys walking around saying, "Hi, how are you? Hi, how are you?" I think we should call it something else.
Can't you just take your victory in the Trail of Tears? Just, maybe just enjoy that.
You have to
and
rub
let
it
go
in
of
for the
name.
rest of everybody's lives.
Yeah. Let's just all agree that Andrew Jackson was the greatest president, and let's get on with it.
You win.
Old Hickory. Put him on the
Old
20.
Hickory, yeah. Put him on the 20, whatever. Yeah, so I was that guy. I said, they got a point. Just let it go. Let's just go down the zip line. Everything's fine.
Right.
All right, yeah, so everything's fine. Just, a little kink on my neck, but it'll be fine.
What
You're gonna
about
be
you,
all right.
Tom? I feel like no one ever asks how Tom's doing.
No one ever cares. No
That's
one.
true, too. So anyway, let's talk
All
about
right.
this minute.
Minute 19. Minute 19 begins with Wang taking pictures of the parking lot, and it ends with Danny getting called a brown noser.
Brown nose.
Brown nose. Okay, I know this is jumping ahead, but since we just said brown nose, is that Motormouth? The tall, goofy guy, is he Motormouth?
Not clear. I would think it is Motormouth. I have to infer that it is Motormouth. That was my best guess. But
I think
when Lou Loomis refers to Motormouth, it is off camera. You're not clear. It's not clear who he's talking to.
Right. Well, we'll get there in a little bit.
All right.
In the next, either this minute or the next minute. But there's some evidence that maybe this is Motormouth, and I can hear people yelling at us, and we'll hear about this online about, of course that's Motormouth. You guys don't know who Motormouth is. We've never studied this film, even though we know it backwards and forwards. We're learning this as we go.
And you know what? We got a lot
office.
going on in our lives, too.
We got jobs,
Yeah.
we've got children, we've got responsibilities.
Yeah, if you expect us to know a lot about Caddyshack, keep in mind that we have lives, people. And we're not like you. We're not like our listeners.
Yeah. We're not like
I think we
Trekkies.
want to be doing this. We're not like Trekkies. Do you say Trekkies or Truckers?
Trekkies. We're
Okay.
Shackies. We're not Shackies. Caddyshakies.
Shackies. Is that a thing?
White people. I don't know. I just made it up. Might as well be.
Okay. I'll have to make that into a T-shirt. All right, so we don't know yet who Motormouth is. Well, anyway, okay, we're not there yet.
Yeah, we're not.
This is the entrance. We had a taste of the entrance of Rodney last time as he pulled up and started tipping the guy. And now we're in full. Rodney has entered the picture. This is Rodney's movie from this point forward.
Yeah, it's big time, and his presence is announced with authority. First, the "We're in the money" horn on his car, on his Rolls Royce, and then the extremely loud outfit, which would be almost a gay pride level jacket, almost the same color scheme there.
Yeah.
And just trying to make him as loud of an entrance as possible.
It's like if someone made a sweater out of Mork from Orc suspenders.
Oh my God.
That's actually the sweater he's wearing.
That is a very good point. Yeah.
Yeah. Rainbows were huge in the 70s, weren't they? In like the late 70s. They
I think
were.
it's like it was big along with that whole smile thing with the happy face.
Yeah. Everybody was feeling great. There were rainbows, there were smiley faces. We still called Indians Indians, but we didn't feel bad about it yet.
Mm-hmm.
There were, flowers in people's hair, or blue jeans. Everything was kind of sun-washed and faded.
That's how we think about the 70s, but there was a lot of matted shit in people's hair, too. We probably don't think about that.
No.
No.
Nope.
No.
Nobody, you don't see that. Come to San Francisco. Put some matted shit in your hair.
Bring your nose plugs.
Right. You think smiley faces, little yellow smiley faces, are more popular now or in the 70s when they were popular?
The emojis.
Yeah, that's an excellent point. Like they didn't have a natural, well, not that emojis are natural, but they didn't have like a day-to-day use the way they do now, but they were everywhere back then. There were stickers and bumper stickers and window decals and t-shirts, and what's everybody so happy for?
I called it an emoticon the other day, and a good friend's daughter corrected me and just, like, you idiot. It's called an emoji.
Okay, but is there actually a difference between an emoticon and an emoji? Are they the same exact thing? We just call it something different now?
But Tom, there's no difference between a reefer and a joint either. But if you called it a reefer, someone would look at you like, askance.
Right.
A tie stick.
Tie stick.
Grass.
Hey, got any grass?
Yeah.
I'll take 6 tie sticks, a couple of those.
Yeah, give me 6 of those. 5 jazz cigarettes.
All right, but so this will be a good segue to actually talk about the minute here. So
Minute? Oh, yes.
So Rodney, I think, comes in like he's coming in on stage. I mean, he goes right into his routine.
Yeah, yeah.
Legs shaking, like you said, Mike. Nervous energy.
Yeah, it's like he's coming in through the Johnny Carson curtain. He's coming right in.
You can hear the music. You can hear the Johnny Carson music as he comes in.
Yeah. He's shot out of a cannon. I could swear that just as he enters that pro shop, he gives a look to his left as though Doc Severinsen is standing there.
He's giving him a little nod. Hey, Doc.
Yeah.
I'm about to launch into my routine.
And he doesn't see Doc, and he goes, wait a minute, I'm on a movie. I didn't realize.
And then he performs his routine to like a random nameless character whose face we don't even see. And he just starts talking to him.
Yeah.
So, hey, I'm Al Czervik. He just starts talking to this kid who's talking to Lacey, by the way. This is the introduction of Lacey as well, but we don't know that yet.
Yeah, that's right. She's sitting there, right?
Yeah, because she's sitting right there.
Why is she hanging out in the pro shop? That just seems like a weird spot for her to be hanging out.
Yeah. It's like they were about to film this scene like, oh, wait, there's not quite enough people in here. Mm-hmm. We need Al to talk to somebody. We need that person to already be talking to someone else. So grab the nearest people we can and stick them in the scene.
Is that Spalding that's sitting there?
He's not sitting there, but he's
Spalding's. Yeah, he's here, but that's not him. He's wearing like a bluey kind of shirt.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, because he's standing. That's right. That's my big faux pas right there, because he's sitting over there, and he stares down Wang like he knows he shouldn't be there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's giving him the stink eye. So maybe
I think the only eye Spalding has is the stink eye.
Maybe he sees that he's Jewish.
Right. You can tell that Wang is Jewish, right, just from looking at him.
Yeah, he didn't need to be told.
Right. He's a bit of a Jewy look.
Well, let's take it down a notch again here. Let's get back to the point before he starts typing.
Man, how dare you?
Before everybody goes to the Caddyshack Minute listeners hole to put on Facebook.
Okay, cut that out. Okay,
and
fine.
Start saying that you guys are getting way off the charts here. He comes in with a joke right off the bat, saying, "Okay, Wang, I think this place is restricted, so don't tell them that you're Jewish." Okay, fine. And Wang is Asian, so that's the joke. Okay, so everybody just settle down. We're not making Jew jokes here.
No,
And
we're
by
not.
the way-
We're not making Jew jokes, and that's a great joke. And go ahead, Tom.
It is a
is a good
fantastic
joke,
joke.
yes,
That's what I was
yes.
going to say. Like, no, we don't just need to spell out the joke to defend ourselves from Dan's rampant racism, but we also have to point out that this joke is flawless.
Yes, and
It's like steeped in ages-old gentleman's agreement, anti-Semitism, and calling that out in the form of an Asian guy not supposed to be telling people that he's Jewish.
Yeah,
right.
And
That's
it's like,
funny.
It's like a joke everyone can enjoy.
It flies in the face of intolerance.
It does.
It does.
It's actually
It points out the
yes.
stupidity of intolerance.
But if
Yes.
if you were an intolerant person and perhaps didn't look so kindly upon Jewish people or Asians, you still might hear that joke and go, "Hey, that's funny."
That's classic.
You go,
He's Asian.
"That's a great joke, you moron."
Which part am I supposed to laugh at, you moron?
Well, let's just really steep this in truth here that we're tolerant people, the three of us.
We are, and I'm sorry for what I
We're very
said.
inclusive.
I said it also meant to be in the face of
We
intolerance.
preach inclusion.
We do.
Exactly.
All right.
Exactly.
And we're not
Listen,
just
I
saying
wanna
that.
know-
No, we
Cover our asses.
no, we
welcome
build our
those
lives
of-
around it.
We
We fight
definitely
for it.
welcome those of the Jewish persuasion to watch,
Yes.
to listen to our podcast, and to enjoy.
Yes.
Right.
Oh, but not the Asians, eh, Dan?
Oh, or I mean, I
Jesus.
didn't mean that. I mean,
All right, let's get off the subject.
Oh
It's
my
making
God.
me very uncomfortable again.
I'm getting really weirded out.
Hey, this
Yeah.
is not as bad as last time where we sort of started talking. We talked about Wang as though he were Japanese for like 20 minutes.
Yeah, whose fault was that?
That was all of our fault. We were all part of it. you know?
Barely in the minute, and we spent 20 minutes on it.
Yeah, well, I didn't speak up. I didn't speak up, and then they came for me.
So this disclaimer that we're saying about inclusion and empathy and all that other good stuff applies to that earlier minute as well.
Of course.
You can tell Mike just got back from his Wilderness Princess trip.
Hey, I was in scouting long enough to see Scouts for Equality victorious in the greater Illinois area. So,
Well, there you go.
So obviously I love Jews and Asians.
Right. Hey, listen, we're overcompensating here. I think
so.
people in the totality of our output here will absolutely be able to tell with confidence that we're not bigots.
No.
Yeah.
No. You can't love Caddyshack if you are.
Right. Yeah.
Here-
Exactly.
Here's another thing from this weekend then, scouting for equality that you said, Tom. So we had
Yeah.
this discussion that said, well, we're just saying, well, what, the Indian princesses were for the girls. I said, well, what were the boys? Because, I have two daughters. I don't know. Well, so they were Indian guides. Now they're wilderness guides.
Yes.
And I said, I have a bigger problem with that. Because why can't the girls also be guides? Why do they have to be princesses? And then
And
everybody
Those are so
why can't
pretty.
the boys also be princesses? I'll say
No,
that
that's
as
when I
well.
really lost them.
Yeah, when you added that one. You know what I love
Someday.
about the outdoors though? It is one bathroom for everybody, and I
It
like
is.
that.
No signs. You don't have to worry about the skirts or the not skirts or anything.
Yep. When you go for a nature pee, everyone's the same in God's eyes.
That's right.
Yum.
Peeing in God's eyes. That's not what I meant. You know what I'm saying. Okay, now while we're praising Rodney for his humors, we also have to praise this movie for the weird attention to detail it gives us in this one moment. I know that I watched this movie dozens and dozens of times before I ever had any sense that there was a character in it named Drew Scott. But here, Rodney makes a point of saying, I'm here as a guest of Drew Scott. And we saw Drew. We know, I know who he is now. He's the kind of balding guy who we saw him playing Go Fish in the locker
Don't
room in
you
the
have
previous scene.
homes?
Don't you have homes?
Yes.
And later on, you hear Judge Smales refer to, he's a friend of the Scots. And but I mean, if I hadn't known who that guy was, I would never in 1,000 years be like, now exactly what is Rodney doing at Bushwood? Is he a guest of someone? Why he doesn't belong to this country club? I don't understand what he's doing there. So for such a weird, sloppy, crazy, ramshackle movie, it's a weird bit of detail that they pay a weird amount of attention to.
And we must also praise the Scots because without the Scots inviting him, you wouldn't have a movie.
See, I guess
Yeah.
you really, yeah. On the
Can
one
I
hand,
can I offer? I'll go ahead there, Tom.
no. I was going to go nowhere. So
Well,
you go ahead.
can I offer an alternative hypothesis,
Yes.
which is that what you read as a a very keen kind of like subtle sprinkling of something into the movie could very well be a part of the script that was cut out. And there's these a lot of times the scripts things need to be cut because maybe they don't make sense or they're not as good. And you need to streamline a script a lot of times. You get a thing where the Scots remain in the script in these tiny little bits where before they had these nice, you got more of an exposition about what he was doing there with the Scots. And then when it gets cut out, you think, oh, what a nice little nuanced little thing. But in reality, it's just it's a loose end.
Yeah. So the Scots could have had like a huger part in the movie. And hey, Rodney, hey, Al Czervik, let's plot together to take over Bushwood or something ridiculous like that.
Well, I'd like you to meet my guest.
All of that.
Al,
I want you to be my guest at Bushwood, and we'll play golf, and you can play Journey out on the green. It'll be great.
Are you guys done now?
No, I'm not done because also I'll just have to say that I do like the Scots. I didn't know who the Scots were, but I knew that I liked the Scots because there's always this group. There's two people hanging out with Rodney all the time.
Yeah,
they're always just like laughing and having a good time, and they don't say anything, but that's the Scots.
Yeah, and they also seem to be
like, who's that cool couple they're always hanging out with?
Right, and they're clearly like more to the Al Czervik end of the spectrum than the Smales. They're a little scruffy, they're a little loud, they're a little obnoxious, and you see later on, not to get ahead of ourselves, but you see later on in the dinner party scene that they're they're in with Ty Webb. So like all the guys who we know of either as slobs or as the cool snobs. The Scots are in with.
So then that bears the question, then do the Scots have FU money?
It seems like they might.
So that I have so much money and I'm
They're nouveau riche as well. Hanging out, maybe they're having dinner the week before with Al because they have some sort of business concerns with him. And they say, "Oh, why don't you come out and play golf with us? You'd be my guest at the thing." And Al goes, "Well, I've never been to one of those snobatoriums, and I don't want to go there." And they go, "No, come along, it'll be fine." I like that thought.
And Al, I think he's been to these before.
Could be. I mean, he plays golf. He he must.
Well, he comes right in and he says, give me some of those, the Vulcan.
Vulcan D10s.
Vulcan D10s. I looked that up. Can you believe that?
I did too. And what did you find? I'd like to know.
I don't remember because it was like a week ago, but I think I think Vulcans are a type of golf club.
Yeah.
I don't know if D10 is a legitimate model or make, but yeah.
Let me just be clear. It's when he starts listing things that he wants to buy for setting up Wang with the whole schmear. He says, "Give me some Vulcan D10s," just right off the bat. Very good esoteric golf reference.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It grounds in that he knows what he's talking about.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Even though he's also asking for naked lady tees and orange balls and things
Which
like
do
that.
they? But he looks in the cabinet when he asks for the nudie tees. So they don't have them there, obviously.
Right. Bushwood does not carry naked lady tees.
No.
And
He's just rattling stuff off because he's crazy.
But when he insults the hat, the guy behind the counter immediately snaps his head to Judge Smales like, "Oh no, he didn't," and he just stares at him.
Get out of here, sir, while you still can.
Yeah, get out of here. He's insulting your hat.
Yeah. Now that hat. This is all my golf knowledge comes either through Caddyshack or weird things like Devo album covers, because the cover of Devo's "Are We Not Men? We Are Devo" features. It was supposed to be a picture of Chichi Rodriguez wearing a hat almost exactly like this, but for various legal reasons they couldn't use the picture of Chichi Rodriguez, and they did a mocked up thing that kind of looked like him. But anyway, so is this known as like a Chichi Rodriguez hat? This hat that Judge Smales is wearing?
So. It's like a Tom Landry.
Yeah, is it that sort of thing? Oh, yeah. That's the hat that so-and-so wears. Yeah. Okay.
Could be.
Yeah, I did not know. Yeah.
Well, another thing, too, that, Al is wearing a Bushwood hat. He's wearing a baseball, the golf hat with the crest on it.
You're kidding.
No.
Really?
So either the Scots gave it to him.
Oh, interesting.
He's been there before. Who knows? But he's.
Now, see, I can picture that scene too. I can picture like, oh yeah, it'll be fine. Here, wear this hat. Wear this Bushwood hat. It'll look like you fit right in. It'll be great. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
That's
wear
hysterical.
This rainbow shirt. You'll fit right in.
Oh, no, okay. Now, is this the time where we talk about Rodney's appearance on the Tonight Show and the clip that he brought with him of the movie Caddyshack, which was then available for people to see in the movie theaters, and the scene that he showed? Because they showed this scene.
Yeah.
I guess it's the movie was about to. He was he was promoting the movie, so
He
the
said
movie
Friday.
either had just come out or it was going to come out on Friday. Okay.
Yeah.
And they show this scene, but it's slightly different. They're like all these different like extra bits in it.
Yeah, it has extra. He riffs a little longer,
Yeah,
and it's not as tight.
it's not, and it's jarring for us too because we're like, oh wait a minute, that's not what he's supposed to say there. But he says people are going to get more letters because they're going to think we're making fun of Asian people. We're just quoting a joke. He says, "Hey, don't make the pants too tight, or you'll hurt his fortune cookie," referring to Wang. Which, by the way, that's a much weaker joke than the "Don't tell him you're Jewish" because fortune cookie.
Well, that's
I don't know.
but that's one of the jokes that ended up on the editing floor.
Exactly. You see, they knew what they were doing.
Yeah.
They thought it was good enough for Johnny Carson's audience, but not for the actual film.
Or maybe they watched the clip on there and then said, we got to go back in and tighten that up because it wasn't.
Yeah, because that's one thing that's interesting is hearing the people laughing and stuff as they're watching this because they haven't seen it before. So that's kind of neat. It's like history in the making.
It is.
And I don't think they laugh that much at Fortune Cookie.
This stuff does get cut out of movies though sometimes because it's just like, look, that's not going to play well anymore. That doesn't fly.
Yeah.
And I
We
wonder
tested
about
it at Canoga Park. That's possible.
It reminds me of another thing that was cut out. This is amazing to me that it's coming to my mind, but there was another thing cut out of The Simpsons that was also a joke about a fortune cookie. And maybe it says something going on here. But there's a great joke in the episode of, unlike the Caddyshack joke, this one's really good.
Okay.
And it's in the episode where Milhouse's parents get divorced. It's called A Milhouse Divided. And they're sitting in bed, and the Milhouses have had this ugly fight in front of everybody at the Simpsons house. And they're sitting in bed, and Homer's reading. He's got his glasses on. He's reading a magazine called Hot Lottery Picks. And they're sitting there, and she goes, "I can't help but blame myself for what happened." And then he's like, "Quit blaming yourself and move on, Marge." And then she goes, "I shouldn't have got those North Korean fortune cookies. You are a coward." Like that. And it was cut out of the episode later. There are two different fortune cookies jokes cut out of two different things.
Yeah. See,
From
I
wildly
didn't
different
think
backgrounds.
I was having a hard time imagining what a good fortune cookie joke would be. But there you go. I was wrong. I mean, I was proven that there can be one.
North Korean fortune cookie.
You're a coward.
You're a coward.
Rodney's got this other line in here in the alternate version from the Tonight Show that I don't understand. He says something about it measures how far you, or it's something about how far you walk or something.
Like a pedometer.
You know what I'm talking about?
It's like a pedometer or something.
Yeah. Because he asked him, he goes, "Do you want one of those things that measure how far you walk?"
How far you walk? Is that a walk joke?
Is that a walk joke?
No.
W-O-K?
Stop it.
Oh my God.
I'm just saying it could be a walk joke.
I thought the same thing. If Dan's a filthy racist, then I am
It
too.
would-
No, I think that doesn't make any sense, though.
I know.
It doesn't. No, but we're
Neither does-
scrambling. We're
Neither
trying to
does
come
the
up with
fortune
something.
cookie joke.
No,
It doesn't really make any sense.
No, he's improving. So he's just rattling stuff off.
But that's not even like a.
But maybe Dan should know this, being an improv person that he is he's probably just saying things to get him to the next joke.
Yeah, it could be.
I
Just
don't know.
talking. So if I keep talking, the next thing will come to me, and then I'll.
It's such a weird natural aside, though. It's like it's like saying, "Oh yeah, so don't tell him." Oh, did I remember to tip the driver when we pulled up?
Yeah.
I'll get to that later. Okay. Well, anyway, naked lady tease. Oh, look at that.
And why is he listing this one wildly practical and unfunny option?
Yeah.
A thing that measures how far you walked.
Well, but everything else he said was gold. Set him up with the whole smear. Clubs, bags, shoes.
Not
gloves,
everything is
shirt,
gold, though, because
pants.
Hey, they did cut it out.
he does the joke about no offense. Don't tell, and he goes, "Oh, no offense," which is also not a good joke.
But the way he delivers it is.
Rodney type racial sort of racy humor jokes in there, and
But the way he
I'm
delivers
really torn
it,
about this.
he picks up one foot and throws his hand up like a Heil Hitler, and when he says it, and it's funny. Oh, don't tell him.
I mean, almost every
No
word out of his
offense.
mouth is funny in this scene.
Yeah. And he does the Vulcan D10s. Set my bag up here. Set my friend up here with a whole smear. Clubs, bags, shoes, gloves, shirts, pants. Then he goes into the naked lady tease.
Hey, no, he goes, "Hey, orange balls," and the guy
Orange
immediately puts the box of orange balls on the table.
Yeah.
Right. I
Then he
can't
just
believe there's
starts.
not a blue balls joke in there somewhere.
Yeah, then he just lists. Give me 2 of those. Give me 6 of those. You know.
Classic joke that does come back in the Back to School movie. They basically bring back that same joke
the bookstore.
and he goes, "Yeah, 5 of these, 6 of those, and then Shakespeare for everybody."
Hey, okay, now am I in danger of killing this joke, which I love, by asking what it means when he says, is this based on something that I'm not getting? Is this some sort of Borscht Belt kind of thing?
What are you talking about?
When he grabs the hat and he says, "Oh, it's the worst looking hat I ever saw. You buy a hat like this, you get a free bowl of soup."
Yeah, it comes with a free bowl of soup. That's the joke.
Okay, but explain the joke to me.
joke
Even though I know it's funny and I love it.
The joke is the hat is crappy, but if you buy it, you get a free bowl of soup. That's the joke.
But wait a minute now, Mike.
That's the joke.
Is the
That's
joke
the joke.
that
It's like
the soup is served in the hat, or is the joke that it's an old person? It's a hat for old people.
no. It's just saying. It's just said. Now I'm getting angry because I'm getting angry because it's as simple as saying, "Here, buy this crappy watch, and I'll give you a sandwich." A free sandwich comes with this crappy watch.
This is what's bothering. Your example is what's bothering me. I've never in my life heard of a bowl of soup as a bonus for getting something.
That's the point. That's the joke. That's the joke. It's not.
You'd almost think that he would go for something like a free toaster or something.
I'm going to shut this minute down. That's the whole point. The whole point is it's crappy. The bowl of soup is crappy.
In the structuring of a joke, you would want to say like, "Oh, this hat is so bad, you have to be bonus with something. You get a prize for doing it." So you would say something that is a normal, natural prize.
It's almost like it's like being on a He's saying it like it's on a hobo game show. Here,
I think that's a.
I'll give you a bowl of hot soup at the soup kitchen.
I don't know. That's a reasonable reading of it. That it's just a funny non sequitur.
Yes,
but I'm saying that it's possible that there's
Tom's got a problem with it.
Thing.
I don't have a problem with it.
I have a problem with it too. I want to know what the joke is.
This is minute 19, right? This is when Michael gets mad. You can put that in there.
Now you're mad.
Put that in your hat.
Finally, I'm waiting for you on the show.
Mike's explanation for that is so crazy that with that explanation, I bet you get 15% off vacuum bags.
The point is that it's like you said, it's just a stupid non sequitur. But the point is, a bowl of soup makes it funny.
Mike, I want to thank you. I have
My whole name is Michael. It's not Mike. I'm a grown man, so call me Mike.
Do I not call you Mike anymore?
You just called me Mike now. You call me Michael from
I'm saying, but do you not want me to call you Mike?
No, you can no longer call him Mike. When somebody is like you, they go call me Mike. Now you can no longer call him Mike. Yeah. You lost those privileges.
Yeah.
Oh wait, are you serious?
Stupid Borscht Belt comment.
Now wait a minute. Now, everybody, calm down for a second. First of all, I got to clear this up. I have been calling you Mike my entire time knowing you for years and years and years. Mm-hmm. So I want to clear it. Did I just lose the privilege of calling you Mike, and now I have to call you Michael because I pissed you off? Or would you actually just like me to call you Michael because
the point is that it's the free bowl of soup. That's the joke. It's just funny. It doesn't have to be a joke. It doesn't have to come from some comedy castle. It doesn't have to be like from. You don't have to go to second.
That's exactly how I've taken it this entire time since 1980. I've taken that joke as just being funny because what a weird idea free bowl of soup is.
Exactly.
So I have a new appreciation for the joke now. Thank you, because.
And every time you hear that line, you're going to hear me screaming at you in the back of your head.
I always hear you screaming at me.
That's the point.
I say hello to my wife, and I hear you screaming at me.
I've got a new lack of appreciation for the joke.
Oh, that's terrible.
It's not about anything anymore. And also, I will say in Michael's defense, he's introduced as Michael on the website, so people know him as Michael.
Yes.
But see, okay, both of you, when I type your name and when I want to tag you on Facebook, this will be dated in like 10 years. When I want to tag you on Facebook, type your name and have it be a thing that you can click on. I don't I'm not calling him Michael DiMaria. I'm not calling him Daniel Lewis. I wish I could just erase part of that and just have it be Dan Lewis and Mike DiMaria, and it's like a whole thing. Because I don't call you guys Mike or Michael and Daniel.
Let's move on from this. Let's just move on from it.
This will all be cut out anyway.
Everything is cleared. It's fine. Everything.
I love the. I've always loved the joke. Now I love the joke slightly more because I believe that it was crafted to introduce the idea of a bonus.
This is what angers
but have the bonus be
you were
something
sitting
completely
there
ridiculous, so the
taking notes.
audience has to go back and make that
I'm
connection.
going to let everybody.
themselves.
I'm going to lay it on the line right now. I'm going to turn over my cards so everybody can see what's going on here. I don't have notes. I sit here and I riff.
Right.
From the soul, man.
It's Gonzo
You do
podcasting.
is you went back to your notes, Tom, and you made a little note there saying, "I don't get the joke." Let's
You know
talk
what?
about the joke. Let's
I actually
dissect
didn't
the
have a.
joke.
I did not have a note about
Like
that.
we're at Second City Improv class. You don't have to dissect the joke. It's just
Listen,
funny.
I respect you for not taking notes and for going for the stream of
I do too.
consciousness Jack Kerouac approach to this. But I believe that getting mad at somebody for making notes and ridiculing them amounts to anti-intellectualism, and I don't
Yeah,
like
come
that.
on.
I'm
I
not a
didn't want to keep
troglodyte.
track of my thoughts.
No.
Excuse me.
No. We all have our ways. But you go back to your notes, and if you go back to your notes, you make a good note. You make a good point. The
I
point
actually
is
did
that's
not-
funny.
I did
We
not have a
have-
note.
the-
I did
what
not have a note
offends
about
me-
the soup. I
What
promise.
offends me is that it's almost like saying, well, I'll put down in this column A on my notes, or column C is if things are going a little sluggish, I'll throw this out there. There's plenty to talk about in this minute that we don't need to go to your C material, which is dissecting that joke. It's funny
I think
the way
joke
it is.
one of the best jokes in the movie, so
It
it's
is.
worth discussing,
Yeah. Okay.
even if I don't get it.
All right. You get it.
Take your notes and shove them up your ass,
Yeah, let's keep it clean here.
and then shave it, and then shave your ass. Go ahead.
I've been having a hard day because as we're recording this, over at the Indiana Jones Minute, I've been yelled at all day for not thinking that the Ark intentionally burned the swastika off the box that it was in.
That has nothing to do with what
This
we're
has
doing
nothing-
here.
yeah,
And
no,
I
I'm
don't
just
have
saying,
it, and now
both-
I'm offended
both-
2 times because I'm not. My mind's not anything on any other minute.
Now I'm
of any
offended.
other. Now Dan's mad at you.
Yeah.
You just blew it, my friend.
I'm mad
Should I call
too.
him Daniel? Daniel, come back.
Yeah,
It's
don't
okay.
listen. You call me Daniel now.
Yeah. Start bringing up other people's minutes. You're throwing a little bone to your other podcast listeners who are going to be listening to this podcast.
Yeah, don't
Minute
plug
19 is where things changed between our
Out
relationship.
come the plugs.
Yeah,
Things are
oh,
getting
yeah.
a little
Out come the
lively
plug.
around here, and out come the plug.
Hey, listen. Next week when I'm recording with them, it's going to be Caddyshack all the time.
No.
The
If
whole,
you
the whole
do
thing.
if you reference any of
Well,
your
guess
other
what?
minutes,
You could say
which
whatever you
God
want over
knows
there.
how many there are. I don't know how many hours in a day you have to do these minutes.
Yeah.
But
No, not enough.
But the fact is if you're gonna bring up one of your other projects, then at least make it apropos of something that we're discussing and not just.
Oh yeah, it occurred to me sitting here as a human being talking with other human beings that
Apropos,
this
Tom.
situation that I'm in right now is similar to an identical situation that I was in earlier,
People
where people were
yelling.
mad at me for a very innocent observation that I had made.
Maybe that's a theme that's happening now. Is people are just getting mad at you. Maybe you start looking at yourself in the mirror.
It's possible I'm a jacket.
Yeah, exactly. You get socked in the gut enough times. And you're like 11 years old. You think, wait a minute, something real sockable about me,
Yeah, maybe it is me.
right?
I can't control when and how I pee anymore. I've been punched in the gut so much. Maybe it's something I did.
Maybe
Hey,
it's
can
not
I just
them.
say, after the joke is great, we can all agree no matter what the joke is about, it's great. But after the joke was even better.
The eye roll.
The look he get, the gigantic eye roll.
That
I
only
think-
Rodney could do.
Only Rodney and animals with segmented eyes can roll with that kind of extreme.
The only
It's
other
good on
person,
you though.
the only other person that could do that is Marty Feldman.
Oh my god. Yeah.
It is kind of a Marty Feldman move, isn't
I
it?
got the eyes popping out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I got to okay. We try to rate stuff in this movie, like I mean, this entire minute, of course, is vital to Caddyshack. But would you say that "looks good on you" is maybe the most quoted line from this movie? At least there are different tiers of like Caddyshack people. Like some good people go right to the Bill Murray, like
No.
Looper stuff that we
Yeah.
talked about.
Yeah.
But like it seems like the more intimate fan with Caddyshack, they might go closer to like this.
I think
Rodney
it's
stuff.
this and also okay, fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
general
the
okay,
Rodney
fine.
stuff. I think number one has got to be the Bill Murray stuff. If I had to guess, just if we had somehow got the stats in front of us, we got the
Yeah.
polling company to do it or something. But
Sure.
I would say it's the Bill Murray. But this is
But you know what?
you're right. It's a different
think-
kind of Caddyshack fan, and a real
But I think
Caddyshack
it's-
fan goes straight to Smales.
No,
Yes.
no. I think this is what you is. It was like we were looking at the picture of the cast, and I put something on the website today saying everybody can relate to one of the cast members.
Yeah.
And that's what we all gravitate towards, the lines that fit most. Always go to Rodney.
Yeah.
You know, I never say the Bill Murray lines because I don't relate to him.
Gosh, that's a really good. I don't think I
Yeah,
ever do either.
You're damn right. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Good, there's a lot of good points going on today. Like that joke was funny as it is. It didn't need to be understood and dissected.
You made a good point about a classic joke that people have been enjoying for decades without any.
But see, we all go. All the lines are quotable and are as powerful on their own level.
Christ.
But we all gravitate towards certain characters.
When did Ricardo Montalban get here?
I always say, it looks good. We always say it looks good on you, though, or okay, fine.
Yeah.
We always throw it at the end of sentences.
Okay, fine.
I'll be there in 15 minutes. Okay, fine.
Okay,
And then you go.
I'm laughing now.
Make sure you go to, before you go online, go finish your homework. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
That's what we do.
Yeah.
I do
No
that one a
offense.
lot. I still do that one a lot. Okay, fine. Right after I get done, like it's as though they answered me, and I'm just I'm
You're already on your way.
answering, and I'm just going, whatever. Go pick up that blood. Okay, fine. Or just,
Well, that would be that would be a good.
I wouldn't mix them together.
If we, because we're on group chats, the three of us.
Sure.
If we go back and say, what's the quote that we text the most throughout all our conversations? Looks good on you though, and okay, fine would probably be trending, as they say.
Yes.
My name is Danny, so I have gotten a little more. I went by Danny as a kid, so I have gotten a little
interesting.
more of the "Do you want to be good, Danny?" and stuff
Wow.
like that.
That must be fun.
Yeah.
You're living the dream. Mm-hmm. I got to say, speaking of texting and you and me, Mike, I think the one quote we use most often out of anything, and I'm sorry to bring up another movie, but I think you'll agree, is yes, have some.
Yes, from Ghostbusters.
Yes, have some.
Yes, I have some.
Constant.
That's good. Well, that example, Mike, not Mike, Tom. That example,
Thomas, please.
is that you brought it up apropos of something and not just plugging your other podcast.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Let's keep it above board.
All right. Okay, so in this scene, we're back in the minute. Spaulding is in the scene the entire time, except he vanishes as soon as looks good on you. Right after looks good on you, he's just
gone.
not there anymore. There's a wider shot of Smales as he takes his hat, which we've never seen on him before, and we won't see it on him since. He just takes it off and hangs it on a golf club and leaves. Like, did he just buy that hat, or was that his hat? Because either way, it seems weird that he would just leave it there. It's a funny comedic moment, but if you're going to take it apart, it seems a little weird. So let's not take it apart.
He's either thinking about buying it, or he just bought it and he's like, he doesn't care anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know which one it is.
Or
Could
he
have
never
just been trying
bought
it on.
Maybe he just walked in there and took it because he's Judge Smales.
If you have a
who's gonna
hat like
stop
that,
him?
you probably would show up in it, and he does not show up in a hat. Although I guess he does change clothes because he arrived in a kind of suit when he was.
Oh, that's
slapping
true.
McFiddish with his, yeah, yeah. So I don't know.
That's
He might
right.
have had the hat in
Yeah, he
his
just-
locker.
It kind of feels like he was just trying it on, and that he was excited to buy it. But now Al Czervik has let all the air out of his balloon, and he can't buy the hat that he liked.
Another idea is, and this one's a little out there, but this is for the kind of Room 237 kind of Caddyshack fan,
Oh, sure.
which is that he's just been told that Ty Webb measures golfers by height, so he's buying a hat that increases his height by 5 or 6 inches to try.
Oh, are you referring to the Kubrick 237?
That's right. Yeah.
Yes.
That's kind of
the moon landing?
That's a conspiracy kind of.
Okay.
This
right, we're not
entire
gonna get
movie
into
is
that,
about perestroika, actually. Now, what do you think is the more likely explanation? Spaulding is a shape-shifting vampire who can sometimes appear in a human form and other times not, and then or that the movie is not perfectly edited at this scene.
I would go with that.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the editing theory.
All right. Well, you guys
Yeah.
like to play the percentages. I know how that is.
Yeah.
Oh,
I like to go with the chaos theory.
Speaking of Spaulding, in the next scene, I learned something about Spaulding that I never knew before. We're back at the Caddyshack, 2 words, and they got all the caddies around Lou. He's giving
No,
them
they're not at the shack though. They're not at the shack. They're right on the court.
Oh, it's not the shack. You're right.
There's like it's like a table with a big umbrella under it, and it's like they're not at
So
the
is the
shack.
shack nowhere near the actual
you get a
course?
sense that they're close to the shack, but I really can't say.
It
Doesn't
has,
it?
well, I guess it just has that shack feel because it's all those same people, and it's weathered wooden structure. What are you gonna do?
No.
But anyway, Lou's
You're
giving
no
them they're all
longer hearing
their.
"Summertime Blues," which is playing at the shack.
That's
And
true.
also,
Yeah,
there's no.
that's a little-
And also, there's. It's right by the. You can see a fairway right there, or else a practice
Yeah.
green.
Yeah, that's true.
think
I guess they're right there. I guess they'd be right near like where the players leave their clubs or something, and they have
And
to
this
go.
is reminiscent of like a roll call at the police station.
Yeah, y'all be careful out there.
News episode where he's saying, okay, let's have a quick little meeting, get together before you hit the streets. So and so, you're driving with so and so.
Yeah.
Well, let's go out there and keep the streets safe.
Car 54 again.
Oh, okay. So Lou is saying, okay, we've got Judge Smales the Third, Dr. Beeper, and Bishop Bickering. So is Spalding Smales the Third?
Yeah.
Is that who he's talking? I guess because he's in that party of golfers. So. What does that mean? Does that mean
Oh.
Judge Smales is his grandfather? Oh my gosh! Wait, that doesn't make sense. Wait a minute, this doesn't make sense. So Spalding, if he was the third, wouldn't he also be
Elihu?
Elihu, yeah. So it doesn't work.
But maybe Spalding's his middle name.
Or maybe it skipped a couple generations, and like Judge Smales' dad was Spalding or something, and
or it's his or Smales is his maternal grandfather. Could
oh god, maybe.
All right.
you ever think about that? That sometimes that middle children that the middle generations can be women too, brothers and sisters.
I never
have
thought of
none.
that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things in this minute.
It's like that All in the Family with the doctor.
This minute is very dense, very packed with information.
Yes.
It is
Difficult
It
to
is.
pick apart.
Just really quickly before we get out of here, because I want to go to bed at some point. I hate. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, we mentioned Motormouth, but I think the tall, goofy, gangly guy is Motormouth, and I hate him. Like he gets so into brown nose. Like he's like he wants people to know that he's saying brown nose, and he reminds the hell
Isn't
of
it
himself.
the same kid earlier who said, "I heard she passed out taking a test." What's he say?
He choked to death on his vomit taking a test. Or something.
Vomit. That's Motormouth, I think. Yeah.
I think
Let's just
so.
decide that that's Motormouth because no one's gonna
Okay.
unlock this.
Oh,
choked on
watch
his
the
vomit
guy.
taking a test.
Everybody go home and watch your DVDs and watch the guy next to Motormouth. He's got like a sort of tan T-shirt on and a cap, and he's nodding the entire time. Remember that guy for the next minute, because I only just noticed it's like 15 minutes ago, even though we were recording for longer.
Well, there's
than
another
that.
guy saunters in towards the end of that scene. He's got a fantastic mustache and dark sunglasses, and he's just smiling.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. In the
Yeah,
back.
he's just like he's just like hanging around. He's like just starts eavesdropping and comes over and starts smiling.
What are the
There's
caddies
a
doing?
random
Yeah.
porn star in the background just smiling and laughing, like nodding his head. All right, groovy, man.
Yeah.
Bunch of caddies
Those
getting their
caddy
assignments.
All right.
He's like disco stew.
Disco stew.
See that guy? Oh my god.
Disco
He's
stew.
the disco stew of the group. And D'Annunzio's sitting there, and he's kind of like down on he's like down in the dumps a little bit,
Yeah, he's kind of subdued.
and he's like
I
tapping
like
his
D'Annunzio.
cigarette. And I like D'Annunzio. He's like the
I
underdog
like
to
him
me.
now. I never liked
And then
him,
he
but now I like him.
and when everybody's like really going brown nose and rubbing in his face, he kind of just looks over and like just mouths brown noser, kind of
Yeah,
like
it's
with a
dude,
little
that's
smile on
his
his face.
business,
But
you know what he wants to do. Let him do what
right,
he
but
wants.
he's like feeling a bit low in himself here, and it affected me this time.
You sense a bit of a melancholy in
Yeah,
D'Annunzio.
he's misunderstood.
He's got the tough exterior,
There's
but
more
what
to it.
lies beneath?
It's like people just look at the slacks and they make preconceived notions about me.
Now, to bring this whole minute full circle, he, of course, was in Porky's, where he had to deal with his own, not his own, but anti-Semitism, since he was playing a Jewish kid. And that was the theme of the movie. It wasn't all peeping through holes and showers and things.
Yeah.
There. See?
Yeah.
I'm
see,
sensitive.
You can catch this all on Tom's Porky's Minute that comes out.
That's right. The Porky's Minute.
Yeah, go ahead and there's your plug.
There's your plug.
There you go.
Always with the plugs. Can I say also, Angie D'Annunzio, of course, is there wearing his Knight Rider's shirt.
I'm glad we
Not to
finally
be
figured out
confused
Angie.
with Knight Rider. And this shirt could be referencing the 1916 film Silent Western starring Harry Carey, not related to the Cubs' Harry Carey, or the 1920 British film called The Night Riders, or the 1939 Western film starring John Wayne called The Night Riders, or the 1981 film, which wasn't released yet, called The Night Riders.
No, wait, these are all without a K?
They're
These are
all films,
NIGHT?
all 2 words, all called The Night Riders. Although his
Wow.
shirt says Night
It's probably
Riders.
it's probably just his like little league team
It probably is, yeah.
or a softball team or something. That's what it is.
I
Let's
don't
not
see
get too into it.
I don't see Angie going for any of those.
No,
I think you're
I
right.
don't think so. He's not referring to the Night Riders, which is what the popular name for the Ku Klux Klan during the Reconstruction era.
I don't see it.
Okay, probably not that.
Interesting.
Okay,
Okay.
fine.
Okay, fine.
See.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
All right. Well, do you think we've done it?
Think
Do you think
so.
we got
Yeah.
to the end of this minute?
Yeah, we learned that bowl of soup. There's nothing to get into with that. Just let it roll, Tom. Don't.
You know what? I'm
Nothing
glad we
to-
had the conversation, but I'm also I could have left it there. I think you're right.
I still think it's
I
an
could-
open conversation, and I'm not willing to let it go necessarily.
I think you need to when you're taking your notes, man.
Yeah.
I swear to Christ, I didn't have a note about
You
that.
said
It just occurred to me. It was off the cuff.
I could just see you at Caribou Coffee having a scone with your little notepad, writing down your notes,
Please don't bother me. I'm working on the Caddyshack minute.
chewing on a pencil, saying, "Oh yeah, the soup joke."
Yep.
Yeah.
That'll piss
He's
off
got the
Mike.
little 3x5 cards that have the little tabs on them.
Yeah, I
That sort
think
of say if
Mike
these
to
are the
Michael.
if things get boring tabs.
Yeah, no, I think he does have because he likes to poke me with things. So I think that was what'll piss Michael off.
I'm not the one who wanted to play high-low a few weeks ago.
Oh, that's me.
That was Dan.
That
sorry.
got at you too. You know, just like Mike getting, just like Tom getting yelled at a lot. Maybe he needs to look at himself. I think maybe with you getting mad every single episode at something somebody says, maybe you take a look. Maybe not have so much spicy pizza before the show or something.
All right.
I didn't mean that.
Make it
way.
some sort of. You think I eat pizza? Is that
No.
some sort of an Italian? joke?
Oh, this is getting ugly.
It's
Oh
not.
my
He's
I
God.
trying to
just
make
thought
fun of the
pizza was
Italians
the first
now?
thing that popped in my head because I want some.
Spicy pizza.
No.
Dan Lewis with meatballs.
Okay.
Okay, that's the next minute. We're gonna talk
Punch
about
case.
that.
know.
Punch case.
I love it. That's the next minute.
Yeah,
Punchkis.
Oh, it's
I've
so
never
good.
heard in my life. I've never heard of punchkis.
Yeah.
yeah. It's
Can I
not
tell a quick
Tuesday
story?
donut.
Okay, quick story. Okay, go ahead.
Get to my favorite Matt Damon story really quick.
All right. Let's just shut this down.
Really? I want to tell a really quick story.
Do the
This might not
story.
work.
Please do this.
I was walking into work. It was my birthday, like maybe 2 years ago. I was like, "Oh, it's my birthday. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get some donuts. I'm going to bring donuts in." And I'm walking in, and an older guy, says, "Oh, those donuts are punchkis." And I had never in my life heard the word. And I don't even know if I'm saying it right now, but I never. And I hope that there are people listening to this who don't know what I'm talking about, because it angered me. The guy said, "Oh, you should have gotten punchkis," because I guess it was like Pulaski Day or something, where they celebrate Dr. Pulaski from the second season of Next Generation.
Oh,
No,
I
God.
didn't know that.
No, they
And so
don't.
I'm like, no, it's my birthday. I got myself donuts. I don't care what made up holiday this is. I'm offending a lot of people.
Yeah, it's not a
But
made up holiday. It's
I don't-
Casimir. Casimir.
I wanted donuts.
Casimir Pulaski.
I know who he is.
All right. He's nothing to do with any of your Star Treks or one of the other shows that you watch or the minutes that you go and do. Nothing to do with that.
It is charming as hell.
See, now
when
I
on
told you,
Pulaski Day,
I just said
post a picture of
2 or
Dr.
3
Pulaski.
2 or 3 minutes ago, I said, let's shut this down. It would have ended on a high note.
She's the
Now
only
you
one who had
pushed
the
it.
guts to say that she hated Data, that she thought he was a goof.
Now you
that the
pushed
whole
it.
idea of
You
like
went
being
too
friends
far.
with an android was ridiculous.
You went too far.
All right. Maybe we should go to bed.
Well, just so people know, punchki, if you're trying to look that up, that's Paczki, very popular in the Midwest when I was growing up. And
like a messed up donut.
You have them on Fat
I've
Tuesday.
never heard of them. Yeah, I'm on
guess
Fat
so.
Tuesday.
Unless your birthday lands on Fat Tuesday and you wanted some donuts, and you don't need somebody telling you got the wrong thing for your own birthday.
Okay.
Shut up, old man.
Right. Then you have them on Tall Tuesday.
Yeah, exactly. I should have aimed for Tall Tuesday. Thank you.
I love it. That guy asked because he was going to turn it down if it was like one or the other. Are those
Yeah, you don't
donuts or
get any either
punchkis?
way.
I won't even look at a punchki.
I hope I don't answer wrong on my birthday. Get out of my face.
No, they're crullers. Well, I only eat punchkis.
Good.
Is that a bear claw
Punchki
or
to
a
the face.
punchki?
Are we done here, old man?
I go to work.
I just want to celebrate
Eat my
my birthday
donut.
with a box of donuts and my friends. Now I'm done.
I've been corrected on my birthday. I'm not even at work yet. Thank you.
Yeah.
Go to
Do
hell.
something nice.
For me. When's my right time? All right. That was my story. Let's all go to bed.
Yep.
Good night.
Great
Thank you all for listening to the Caddyshack Minute. We'll be back next time.
Minute 20.
Madonna with meatballs.
Oh,
Something to
yeah,
look
that's
forward
going to be great. One of the best lines ever. And I'll just say this was a great minute. One of the very best. If you asked me to choose a minute to take with me on a desert island, this might be it.
Yeah.
Easily. Yeah. Yeah.
A
You
VCR.
do a lot worse.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
That's a good way to put it. The Desert Island Minute. This is
Yeah.
the one you do because you just
Desert Island minute.
as soon as it's over, you hit rewind again and you watch it again.
Wait for that eye roll.
Another way to think of it is if you were introducing this movie to somebody and you wanted to, knowing that they couldn't just dive in and love it the way you do from watching it from beginning to end, because it's as we said, it's not technically a great movie, but you grow to love it. What minute could you use as like a litmus test of whether or not this person was going to like the movie? And I would say Rodney shaking his leg into the into the pro shop and going bananas. I think that might be a good test for somebody. If they don't like that, then forget it.
Yeah, you can say this movie's not for you. If you don't like this, then
Yeah.
And what's the point?
And you know that they can look past a couple of perhaps off-color jokes to maybe not take it so seriously and just maybe just enjoy it for what it is as opposed to what it isn't.
Exactly. It's impossible for us to end this minute, isn't it?
no, we're gonna end it
We're
right
gonna be
now.
here for like at least another 20 minutes. People are looking at the time thing on their phones. Be like, oh my God, they're talking about ending it, but it goes for another 15 minutes.
We'll heavily edit it.
Okay.
We'll edit out the plug.
Yeah, the plugs are.
That was a good 15 minutes. You're right.
Yeah.
All right, listen. Michael, Daniel, thank you all. Thank you out there listening. Please come back next week for more Caddyshack Minute.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Okay.
Oh, can I go back to Mike and Dan now? Now that we're off the air?
Yeah, we're off the air.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hey, you scratched my ankle.